Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praises, all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Bakakadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the brothers on the four corners of the earth that teaching this good gospel and all sincerity and all truth. Shalom to if you are cause I listen in silence and obedience to one. Shalom, this is brother Yeremia here, back with another video. Alright, and this is gonna be a quick lesson on why debates are futile, alright, or futile, right? And the first precept will be 2 Timothy 2 and 2. I get that. Right, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2, it says, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who is able to teach others also. Select. There is not the one I wanted. It's 224 actually. No, well, we gotta jump down, right? Let me read it, right? 2 Timothy 2 and 2, it says, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who is able to teach others also. Right? And then when you jump down to 24, it says, and the servant of the Lord must not strive, but he must be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient. And we are going into some of them words there. Apt to teach, be patient, these different words, right? So bear matter go back, we are going to them words. Right, the words that I must go into. Right, so we are going into that word, right? 2 Timothy 2. It says in the NLT, it says, you have heard me teaching that have been confirmed by many reliable witnesses. Now teach these truths to others, trustworthy people who will be able to pass them on to others. So we have to teach people who is able to get this word and understand it, and them will be able to become teachers too and pass it on to others, right? And then when we go down to 24 in the NLT, it says, a servant of the Lord must not quarrel, right? And that is going into these debates, right? Because these, Vocal, Malone, and all of them does will have these debates, and just for quarrel. So that's another word for the word, because as it says, the servant must not strive, which is another word for it is quarrel, right? But must be kind to everyone, be able to teach, be patient, right, with difficult people. And you have to be patient with difficult people, because they wouldn't be able to get the understanding, the saying of God, like just boom and just voila and they'll go get it. No, you have to be patient with them, right? You have to be patient with them, right? The Lord will slowly open their understanding, right? You have to be patient with them, right? So when you read in the so yeah, we're gonna go into the word. Well, we don't get it already in the NLT, but we could go into that word strive there, right? Strive, it says,
Strong's G 3164, Machamai.
Right, so that's the word there. It says to fight of armed combatants, those who engage in hand to Salak engage in a hand-to-hand struggle of those who engage in a war of words to quarrel, wrangle, dispute of those who contend at law for property and privilege. So it's just people, who wanna just quarrel, and just fight, Just fight on, things and just quarrel. No, but we're not on that, right? As it says, be gentle, and so on, right? So we gotta continue, right? So that is the word there for strive. So that is that, right? So as it says, and the servant of the Lord must not strive. We don't quarrel and go into these debates with these other men. We keep it short and simple. If you ain't get it after that is one of the precepts. Timothy, Titus 3 and 10, right? After 2 or 3 admonition, reject. Well, we can't reach there, right? We can't reach there, right? But as a servant of the Lord, we must not quarrel with these, other people and have these debates. We keep it. If you can't get it, we move on, right? We move on. James where are you? James chapter 4 and verse 6. James 4 and 6, it says, but when he giveth more grace, wherefore he said, Yahweh resisted the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. And them is proud. You know why they are proud? Because them coming up against the Lord's prophet. And the saying that what we saying is not true. And them against that. And them proud with them saying, and them because he's saying what them saying is true. And they're proud with that. So the Lord, he, as it says, right? But he giveth more grace, wherefore he said, Yahweh resisted the proud. He don't want no dealings with the proud. Right? And them proud because them standing strong and wrong with the things that they're saying. Right? Wrong and strong. That's what makes in the Trinity, right? Proverbs, another one is Proverbs 17:16. It says, wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he had no heart to it? So let's read that in the and different translation. Proverbs 17. That was verse 16. Alright, so select, I had to pause real quick, but continuing. Alright, Proverbs 17 and 16 says, it does a fool no good to spend money on education because he has no common sense. So a fool wouldn't spend his money, and money, could go back to the wisdom, to the like back to the oil. The fools and them spend it up the oil, right? And then they come to the wise, the 5 wise, and say give us some of the oil, and you say, and the wise say the 5 it was virgins or 5 wise. I think it was virgin in Matthew 25, right? And 5 virgins, who had oil. They said unto them, let it not be so, because we wouldn't have enough for us. So I can't save you and me. You gotta work out your own salvation, bro. Right? So it does a fool no good to spend money on education because he has no common sense. He has no common sense. So we don't spend him money on education because he has no common sense. Right? He wouldn't do that because he has no sense. Right? He has no common sense, it says, right? So when I go to Titus, that's the one we wanted, Titus 3 and 10, it says, a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition rejects. So it's not second and third admonition. As it says, a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition rejects. So after we go through it with your once, you ain't getting it. We go through it your second time, you ain't getting it. Reject. That's just it. Right? That's the rule of GMS does go by. Right? That's just the rule. And I will search up that word heretic. Right? Where it is, Titus 3 and 10. Titus 3 and 10, it says, right, heretic. So like I pressed it kind of weird there. Heretic, it says.
Strong's G 141. Hereticos. Hereticos.
Right, and then it says fitted or able to take or choose a thing. Right? Schematic factus, a follower of false doctrine, heretic, and that what them does do, them following in a false doctrine, right? And going with that false doctrine that them following it, they're going heart and soul with that. Them convinced that is the truth and it's not, because as it says, it's a false doctrine. You know, it's like we going back and forth. You ain't getting it, and we going back and forth. Right, you saying this and we saying the correct thing here, which is 100% truth, started from our elders and apostles, right? And we tell you it's 100% true, and then you come in to tell we something about some different thing, you know. And if you watch back on my, my YouTube channel, some, people been commenting about, Jesus and Mary and them is one and lesbian. Hey, they're talking real BS, right? Real BS they're talking, and they can't even make videos out of it because it's making no sense. When you really, go down to the phone side, it making no sense, right? So I get that here in GNT. Titus 3 and 10, it says, give at least 2 warnings to those who cause divisions, right? And then have nothing more to do with them. So after you see them just causing division and them not getting it, they just want to say this and they want to say that and they bring up this. After as it says, give at least 2 warnings to those. And then when you read it back on this side, it says, a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. So you just forget about it and preach the word of the Lord. And that we just do, that's a common thing we do. Forget about him and preach the word of the Lord. Right? That's exactly what we do. As I say, sir, I'll come back with some more lessons today. This was just a quick lesson, And they say in Matthew 7 and 6, it says, give not that which is holy unto dogs, and them is like unto dogs, as it says, dumb dogs that cannot bark. Neither cast ye out your pearls, which is pearls going back to the wisdom, and knowledge, before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. Read that in AGNT. Matthew 7 and 6. It says, do not give what is holy to dogs. Right? So they even, try to teach these dogs the holy wisdom and knowledge the Lord gave unto us. Right? It says, do not give with what is holy to dogs. They will turn and attack you. Do not throw your pearls in front of pigs, they will trample them on their feet. And that is like into these 2/3 of Israel, and them who just can't get it. So when you go back to the true essence of it, going back to the title of the lesson, why debates are futile, right? Or futile, right? So it's after 2 or 3 admonition reject. Once you realize you can't get it, we just gonna reject. We don't realize that the Lord block your understanding. The Lord gave his angels the command to make the heart of these people fat and make their ears heavy. At least they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand and be converted and be healed. That's Isaiah 6 and 9 to 10. Right, but we know the Lord blocked the minds that can't understand, and the Lord gave the Rokakadash, to block the minds that can't understand. Because when you read this here, this is just the last precept and I'll close, but it's just a quick lesson. John 16 and 13. It says, howbeit when he, the Spirit of truth is come, the Spirit of truth is your Kakadash, right? He will guide you into all. Actually, it's not this one. It's not this one, Salakia. Right, even like the same thing, right? John 14 and 17. Even the Spirit of truth, your Kakadash, whom the world cannot receive, And them of the world, and them can't receive the Wakakadas. Them can't receive this, because the Wakakadas dwells in us. Right? There's our Holy Spirit here. Right? Because once the Lord take away Holy Spirit, and that is in our prayer, Baba Kashai, Hawashimashai, don't take away Holy Spirit away from us. Once the Lord take away your Holy Spirit, you know what I mean? Hey, you have no life in here, you're dead. Right? As it says, even the Spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not. Right? Neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be with you. Right? So them don't know the Wakakadas, them don't understand this way, them don't understand this thing. Right? They don't understand this. Right? And to what I how about the Lord give it unto us so that we can understand. I'm gonna read it in the GNT and then we'll close. John 14 and what that was 17, it says, He is the Spirit who reveals the truth about Yahweh. Right? And that's the Holy Spirit. Right? The world cannot receive him because it cannot see him or know him. Them don't know the Okakadas, them don't understand this way, them can't receive him. Right? Or know him. But you know him because he means with you and is in you. So to the Lord revealed it unto us. But to them, he blinded their eyes. Right? Deep sleep. Right? So, as he going back to the title lesson, why debates are futile, you know. And after 2 or 3 admonition reject. Right? So hopefully this lesson was edifying to the Lord's elect. You know, giving all praises, all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect, Shalom Nabakarim, and that is wicked place, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom to the elect, Shalom.